After 7 years, finally we got a new design for the new Model 3. I don't know about you guys, but I was tired of seeing the same leaks over and over. But now it's here. The leaks are over. No more sending spies. So let's talk about what has changed, what remains the same, and also we'll talk about the things we kind of like and don't like. In case you didn't know, in my description below, there is a referral link where you will get $500 off your order. First, let's talk about the exterior, then we'll go to the interior and other car specs, and then we'll wrap up with some thoughts. Starting with the front of the car, they basically got rid of the bubbly eyes on the prior model. I had no issues with it, but I could see if you zoom out, it kind of does look like a bug. But now with the new sleeker design, it looks like more of a shark or just something that looks more aggressive. They also got rid of the fog lights. Honestly, I didn't really see a big need for this. Maybe in your area you could have. Right below the bumper as well, you will see maybe a little camera there, and that's supposed to help with some of the newer hardware. Comparing the front of the car and the prior, for sure there has been some very nice changes here. Depending on who you like, you might have like the bubbly eyes or the more aggressive look. In the back of the car, there is now a newer diffuser just to make it also look more sportier. And we do have the new lights. It's no longer separated by the trunk. So now if you open the trunk, the whole lights will go up with the car. I was a little disappointed with the back lights a little bit because it still kind of looks like the prior one for me, but it's still nice to have something different. I was hoping that it was gonna look like this. Now, had it been this, I definitely would have lost my mind because this looks way much better than the newer one. In the back, they also got rid of the Tesla symbol, so now it actually says the word Tesla. I do really like this because in fact, if I would have bought this car and they still had the logo, I was gonna switch it to this. So good to know that I got some money saved. The front and the back were mainly where the changes were with this car. The sides look the same. In fact, when the leaks were going on, the sides were pretty much open to the public. One of the notable differences is new rims. So the 18-inch now has a nicer look to it. The tires also has more of a cushiony feel, so it kind of makes it better on the driving experience. And now they also have new 19-inch Nova wheels is what they call it. I actually like these new Nova wheels better than the current Model 3 19-inch rims that I have. We also have new colors. So far in the countries that the car has been released, it looks like white is free this time. But Tesla has two new colors. One is the Ultra Red, which is essentially the same with the Model S, and then now they have Stealth Gray. In addition to the overall design, supposedly there is 50% change all over the car. The car increased 8% in aerodynamics. Another big reason I love driving Tesla is because of the safety. Now they're claiming there's better impact protection and less likely to roll over. Nobody would want to be in an accident, and I pray nobody does, but in that event, you want to be in a car that's more likely to withstand impact. That's one reason why I don't like going for cheaper cars, because the protection really isn't there. Lastly, there's also better suspension. A lot of people have complained the Model 3 had weird suspension. I never had a problem with that, especially coming from a BMW. Yes, it doesn't drive like a Mercedes or BMW, but like I say this all the time, Tesla is not a luxury car company. They're just ahead of technology and sustainability, so they get to charge a premium for that. Now let's talk about the interior. There's actually a 30% ambient noise reduction. So that means it should be a lot more quiet when you're driving. Tesla is claiming there's better materials within the car, and they're actually calling it premium materials. For whatever that's worth, we will have to see that. Maybe they want to move more towards a luxurious style because they've noticed with all the panel gaps, quality control is bad. Maybe they are trying to step up their game, but we don't know. We will have to see when the first deliveries start coming in. One of the biggest elephants in the room for me was, how do you charge 50 to 60,000 without ambient lighting? Well, now I'm proud to say Tesla now has ambient lighting. We're gonna see what that's like, what the user experience is to change colors, but it doesn't matter. I've seen it in blue so far, and now I've also seen it in red, so there's a good chance we are able to actually change the color. Another big change has to do with the steering wheel. They now removed the stocks on the side, so this might get some getting used to. This is similar to what the Model X and S already has with their yokes. Now they brought some of that to the Model 3. On the steering wheel, you will have your turn signals, headlights, camera, autopilot, windshield, and a microphone. Going on with the screen, I wish they made it a little bit bigger, but it's still the same 15.4 screen size. From sources, it shows that the bezels are actually smaller. We'll also have to see that. If that is the case, I think they could have even gone smaller, but I'm pretty sure they want to save that for some future updates, but the bezels are supposedly smaller. Another big change is ventilated seats are now here. I'm a skinnier guy, so I don't really sweat a lot, but when it is summertime, my back is drenching. So I could actually see the need for this. I've never been a fan of ventilated type seats where the holes are poked all out. Just I don't really like the aesthetic of it, but we will see what this looks like. Hopefully it doesn't look too much like the Model S, because I've seen those pretty dirty and I am not a fan of that. Being a music producer, sound is very important to me, and I'm glad to say that Tesla has upgraded their sound system within the car. Tesla upgraded the sound from 14 to now 17 speakers, dual subwoofers, and dual amplifiers. Other notable mentions, there's better Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and microphone. This one was a big one for me. If you actually heard the prior models of the microphones, they were very, very thin. I don't think people realize that, but now hopefully it's going to be better. And on top of that, you still have your USB-C with up to 65 watts. You could have already charged your laptop with the prior model, but it's good to know that that's still there. Going to the back of the car, you should still have your heated seats, and they have ventilation there as well. But the way I understand it, it doesn't function the same as the front ventilation. So we'll have to see what that's like when it comes out. Other than the ventilated seats, one of the biggest other changes is now there's an 8-inch screen in the back. Now people sitting in the back don't have to reach out to the driver in front and say, hey, could you turn on the air? They can now do that on their own, and it comes with entertainment. But currently there is only the rear wheel drive and the long range all-wheel drive. There is no word on the performance yet, which is unlike Tesla, because they usually go higher end model and then move backwards. So now they decided to go long range and standard range first. So let's see how that goes. The battery is just about the same with these cars, but there is more range. It's uncertain right now what that range is for the EPA for the United States. But if you do the conversion, it should be closer to 400 miles. So let's really see how much of that is going to be true. I really appreciate fast 0 to 60 times, and I'm excited to see that the long range is a little bit faster by 0.4, running at 4.4s from 0 to 60, and the rear wheel, weirdly, it's a little slower by 0.3, running at 6.1 seconds from 0 to 60. Hopefully they allow acceleration boost, because then that means I could still accelerate the car closer to maybe 3.5, 3.7. So we'll see what that's going to be like. And of course, I want to use this opportunity to say thank you again for using my referral, because I get acceleration boost for free. Again, if you want to order the Tesla, you get $500 off right in the description below. And thank you again. The charging would be about the same for the rear wheel, and you still get the 170 kilowatt. And for the long range, you get the 250 kilowatt. The warranty is still going to be about the same. There's the basic and then the battery coverage. I did notice the battery coverage has an increase in mileage, which is good. That means the battery is more likely better, but we're gonna see if that is true. I'm also hoping that the battery is still better and we don't have to be capping it at 80 to 90%, because I do find that pretty annoying. Another reason why I have the current LFP model, because I could go to 100%. Wrapping up thoughts, well, I will say I'm honestly really glad to see this new refresh. It's been 7 years since the Tesla Model 3 was released, so we were past due for a new change. And currently we don't have these models in the United States, and I would not be surprised if some of these specs actually change when we finally get the versions for us. But for now, at least we have the confirmation that there is a new Model 3, and now we know what it looks like. We don't also know when this is going to be yet available in the United States, but I would actually recommend waiting till 2024. If the opportunity to order comes up, I actually will place my order, but I'll make sure my delivery window is until 2024, because there might be new tax incentives where instead of the $7,500 being claimed on your tax return, now it might be at POS, aka point of sale. So that means you could get that discount right at the dealer. We know Tesla could be a little slow with adopting with some of these things, so we don't know if they're going to be adopted, but I do know other car manufacturers are going to be subtracting the $7,500 from the sale price. Of course, there might be cons of this where now car companies could increase their prices, but we don't know. So that's another big thing. We don't even know the price of this car, but I will still rather wait till 2024 so I can take advantage of this. Some questions I have is, what is going to be the price of this car? So far, we're expecting from 35 to 40,000. I don't know how true that is, but I really hope that will be the case, as they have said that there are better materials and it's cheaper to now produce this car. Again, I don't know if we could use acceleration boost. I'm really hoping that does become an availability. Do we have to still charge at 80 to 90%, or now are they switching all to 100% batteries? I think that would be the best version. Another thing to think about, if you don't even like the new design, will the prior model be heavily discounted? Because I'm sure they still have inventory of that, and some people may not want to buy that old one anymore and wait for the newer one. So I wonder if heavy discounts are going to be available. Another question is, will the performance actually this time look different from the rest of the models? Does it feel more luxurious now that we have more luxury items within the car? Is the car going to have hardware 4? It's another thing to really keep in mind. There were some leaks that said it's still going to be 3.5. We're hoping to God that's not the case. It's gonna now be hardware 4. When will we get this in the United States? When is the announcement? Because technically speaking, this hasn't been fully announced yet since the convention is not here. There is the Cybertruck event coming soon, but even for that event, they haven't been promoting the Model 3 at all. So maybe that might actually just be a Cybertruck event, or they might also combine them together. What will be the actual EPA range? As we know, there are different standards in measuring this, but we're expecting between 350 to 400 or even a little above that. I don't really like buying the new generation of first releases because you technically become the guinea pig, and everybody else on version 2 would have the better versions. Let me know in the comments below whether you actually want to consider buying this Model 3 or just wait for some heavy discounts on the Model 3 maybe towards the end of the year. Also, let me know what you like and don't like about this new Model 3. I would actually love to discuss that with you guys. Once again, don't forget that if you decide to pull the trigger on this new one or the old one, you could get $500 off your order. And I have to say thank you as well for 2,000 subscribers. This channel has been growing really fast, and it's all thanks to your awesome support. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.